Hi guys, I can see a lot of you logging on now. We're just going to take a couple of minutes and then wait to add Deepa on as well. I'm Karishma Manga Bedi, chairperson of Young Fiki Ladies Organization and a proud member of the Forest Essentials family. I'm going to be in conversation today with Diipa Khosla, who is a proud brown woman, founder of Post for Change, a global Indian, a Punjabi girl living in Amsterdam who's capturing the world one post, campaign, and platform at a time. So we're very excited to have this conversation with her.
Really. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad. You look good as
Thank
always.
you. You too. I was literally like waiting there. I'm like, Karishma, if you're here, send me a message. And people are like, I think she might be waiting for you on the Force Essentials page. I'm like, oh, okay.
I
I'm gonna do that.
I kind of was waiting for you out here. And also, I must say, there's a first time for everything, and this really is my first time doing this with you.
Good.
So for all the bloopers that I'm about to make already, I apologize in advance.
No. You're a natural already. It's just, I think in the beginning it's a little bit tricky because you're like, wait, what? I'm waiting. Is she coming on? But once you get the hang of it, it's just like, for me, I just feel like I'm talking to you, you know? So yeah, it's just like having a video call. So it makes it
I
easy.
know. I've seen a few others do it, and every time I watch them, I'm like, wait, what's this whole waiting period? And what's going on out here? But now, well, I now know what it is.
Now
So,
you know what it is. But where are
so
you
what
at
have
home?
you been? I'm at home. I'm in Delhi, and I know you're right now in Amsterdam. How
Yes.
has it been for you during this rather tumultuous time? How have you coped and managed?
I mean, I know we had a phone call recently as well, and we discussed this in detail, but yeah, it's been a crazy three and a half months. So it was straight after Milan Fashion Week that
Mm-hmm.
everything kind of went crazy. And then I've just been staying at home. And so it's the first time I think in 3 years I have not traveled at all. It's just been staying put. I think our dogs are sick of us. They're like, we have seen them too much. But no, it's been good. Like you found the new rhythm. I think in the
Mm-hmm.
beginning I was just relaxing and resting a lot. You probably did the same as well. I think we were just chilling and being with family so much, and it was really nice. And now I'm kind of itching to get back out into the world again. But I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon, but we'll see.
I think everyone's kind of also adjusted to this being the new normal in the given,
Yeah,
scheme of things, and not really knowing how long this is really going to last for most of
yeah,
us.
yeah.
Interestingly enough, one of the things that came up and I wanted to chat with you about is, from amongst your followers, if you've
Mhm.
had questions about beauty and self-care and about
Yeah.
people really finding the time to sit back at home.
Hmm.
How are most of your followers spending time? Have you been getting a lot of requests asking you for feedback on what they should be doing for their skincare and hair care?
Yeah. So that's it. I think during Corona times, it became so much more about, self-love and skincare and taking care of your mental health and fitness. And um, for sure, even in my content, that resonated a lot because no one
Mm-hmm.
was really thinking about what outfit am I going to wear for the party or holiday or anything. It was really about taking care of your body, your skin, your mind.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely, I think my followers as well felt that a lot, that it was more like give us inspiration on that topic now rather than the next bikini you want to wear for your next destination. So I think it was also, yeah, much needed. And it's just something I feel like the world has become a lot more conscious as well since Corona. I feel, I think everyone felt it. We were going at like supersonic speed. It was all like, I gotta do more,
Breakneck
more,
speed,
more,
really. Yeah.
more money, more profit, more this, more that, more la, 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 more everything. And Corona just came in and everything just instantly was like, okay, stop, let's start over. Like, take it easy. We don't need so much of everything. And that's been really beautiful to go back to basics. And, even with skincare, just go back to basics. Like, you don't need so much of everything. And so I think that's
True.
been really refreshing. Yeah.
I think one of my greatest learnings at this time period has really been about how, we constantly have like a list ready of things that you want to kind of finish off and tick mark on your shopping
Yeah.
list while you're
Yeah.
traveling
Yeah.
overseas.
Yeah.
And I'm a big beauty junkie, and of course, I love all our Forest Essentials products, which is a given. I've been a user of the brand before I married into the family.
Yeah.
But other than that as well, I mean, I love experimenting with brands and seeing what's new in the market.
Hmm.
And I just find that right now, finding this time at home, one has kind of really gone back to age-old ways of experimenting and mixing your own packs, whether it's been for the face or for the hair, and
Yeah.
really applying on your face what you would otherwise ingest and use, you know, to eat. And Ayurveda pretty much says that you should
Yeah.
only put on your face what you would put in your body.
Right.
And I think that I've really enjoyed doing that as well. Have you been up to any of that?
Yeah,
Mixing your own lotions and potions?
yeah, absolutely. My mom is actually, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but my mom is an Ayurvedic doctor. So that combined with, I think, just, every typical Indian household and mother and grandmother have their like Indian secrets that we all know, of course. So because of that, mom has been sending me a lot of recipes. And for us, like skin and hair has been, I think we've been quite blessed in the family as well. But it's also, like my skin, actually, I was the unblessed one, I would say. My mom and sister.
Nobody would believe that, Deepa. Nobody.
I know, me neither. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, it got so much better, but I had really, really bad acne. So I think that was another reason that having mom who is a dermatologist and then an Ayurvedic doctor just like really taught us what to use and what not to. And she believes very strongly as well in whatever you find in your kitchen can double as your skincare. So
Yeah.
you don't have to always go out and buy. And like sometimes the best things are cooking up a concoction in your own kitchen and putting it on your face. And yeah, it
That's
takes you
right.
back to like grandma's days. So I like that. Yeah.
That's really good. Good.
But we're
What
gonna
have
do
you
some
been?
today, right?
We
Like,
will. We'll do a little DIY towards the end and share your recipe with everyone, which you said that you'd enjoyed using. I've got my little batch of ingredients ready as well.
good,
We
good.
should do it as the last thing so we can actually put it on and then like right before sleep wash it off. So I'm gonna try it a
Good one.
little later now.
Good one.
Yeah.
Good one.
What has been your view on this on the whole focus that's now been driven to being vocal for local and in terms of really going back to one's roots and using more locally inspired and made products. How do you think that's really going to pan out in
I
the
think
long haul?
I think just purely sort of, looking at the world as a whole and like looking at climate change as well, shopping local so
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to ship products all over the world or you don't have to, go really far away to get your things is great. Like even if you just look at your plate, like what you're eating, your meal, your lunch or your dinner, your banana is from Brazil, this is from, Puerto Rico, your that is from India,
Right.
like basmati rice from the farms in Punjab sitting in your plate here in Holland. Like that's global warming on your plate. So I feel like whether it's with beauty, with food, with clothing, the shopping
Mm-hmm.
local is indeed just better for the world and the environment.
Yeah, on the
Uh,
planet at large.
exactly. But I think in general, it's just less consumption. Like even if you do
Mm-hmm.
buy something very unique, say from the Himalayas, because no other part of the world has it, it's fine, just consume less. Like, I'm not going to tell you to become a Sati Savitri and meditate on the Himalayas for the rest of your life, but
Right.
it's more just be conscious of what you're buying. And supporting locals is fantastic. Why, if you could get something from your backyard, would you have to go to the other side of the globe to get it? So yeah, I think boils down to just thinking about it more and being conscious of your purchases. Yeah.
Yeah, really
What
drives
do you
home the
think
message
about
of
it?
sustainable. I think it really drives home the message on sustainability as well. I think it's just so key, right? It goes back to everything in terms of where your ingredients is coming from, where it's being grown,
Mhm.
in what ecological practices are being used in terms of when products are really made,
Yeah, yeah,
Well, how can you really reduce your carbon footprint?
absolutely.
And then to everything to the last point of, um, shipping, especially, when it comes down to shipping, how do you reduce the waste of
Yeah,
plastic that's being used,
yeah.
plastic
Oh
in
yeah,
packaging as well.
absolutely.
There's a massive focus that we're actually putting in on recycling of our PET bottles. Most of our packaging is all recyclable, and a lot of changes have been made in terms of our shipping packaging as well. So
Yeah,
our new factory, which by the way, next time you come to India, you and I already
yeah.
discussed you coming up
I
to
would love.
Rishikesh with
Yes,
me.
for sure.
So we need to
I
go
would
see
love that.
that. But Our new factory out, our workshop out there, actually, it's because it's really something where we have people coming in from the villages to work, and it's where the brand had really started. The focus out there is really to absolutely have like a zero carbon footprint. So it's got like solar harvesting, rainwater harvesting, and so on
Mhm.
and so forth. But goes back to, again, it's not just with our brand, but I really truly believe that vocal for local is going to be something that really needs to be a change that we bring about to how we live our lives with a little more sense of balance more than
That's
anything
it.
else.
There you go. That's it. You hit the head on the nail on the head. Head on. What is the phrase?
You hit the nail on the head.
You hit the nail on the head. That's it. But yeah, it's
I
about
think so.
balance at the end of the day. You're right. It's nothing too extreme. Like you don't indeed have to become a saint and like in a monastery, but
Yeah,
you don't have to consume the way we've been consuming in an extremely capitalistic kind of way. So it's just something in the middle.
yeah.
Yeah.
What's happening with Post for Change? I want to know what you're doing out
Yeah.
there. I saw the new campaign that's just been launched. Please share a little about that with us.
Of course. So I think like, for the longest time, myself personally, like as a young girl, again, I'm not like the darkest of skin tones, but in my family, I was the darker one, so to speak, right? And so I've been getting these comments and like everything that we face in India, like we know it, we don't have to speak about it, that it would just leave a little something to you that you realized later in your life that why did you have to feel that way. And myself
Mm,
personally, if I look back at photos even from just a mere 6 years ago, I look like a geisha. Like my face is white, and half of it is because my skin foundation is like 3 shades too light. Half of it is
right.
because I have like saturated or whatever increased exposure on the photo to an extreme amount, and then I'm wearing green contact lenses, and I
Mm,
literally do not recognize that person. So I think even before the whole colorism thing became anything, I was on this like journey of self-love personally to accept who I
that's
am,
amazing.
my skin tone. And indeed, I know I'm not the darkest skin tone. I get that. So I don't like, it's not about me saying, oh, I have had such a bad time, but I have had similar
Mm,
personal experiences. But it's about having this voice and platform to stand up for it once and for all. And I think
yeah.
2020 has been such a revolutionary year in so many ways. Why not take this fight of colorism to the next level as well? And so when the talks of Fair and Lovely changing their name came on, and Unilever changing their branding and stuff like that, I was so like from the sidelines cheering it on. And
Right.
then one evening, it was very funny. Like we were having dinner with friends here in Amsterdam because you're allowed to meet here now, and we were talking
Lucky
about
you.
yeah, and we were talking about colorism. And then someone was like, "It's really great what Unilever is doing, but how did it all like? Where does it come from? Like, why do you feel that being lighter is more beautiful or being darker is
Hmm.
not? Like, where does that come from?" And then we got into the whole discussion of course, colonialism and the British coming in, and then when I really thought about it, like, what is that fuel of that engine? What keeps it going in India today? And it is a big chunk of it Bollywood and media. And so if you like
Hmm.
go down to the core of the problem, it's the industries that set the beauty standards. It's the industries that put people on the covers, or it's the industry that kind of young girls look up to. And if the majority of Bollywood actresses are extremely fair, or even if they are dark, they're
Hmm.
whitewashed on camera. Um, I feel like that is what needs to change. And so that's when, like, literally in one evening, we're like, okay, we need to tackle the core of the problem. Great that Unilever changed its name, but there's still a demand for whitening cream. So we need to stop that demand from being there.
Right.
And hence, yeah, the campaign was launched, and we're just getting started. I think it's really the beginning stages. I think it's going to go on. It's going to be quite a fight, but we're going to keep it going for the next coming weeks or months, as long as it takes to drive some change. And we're
That's
very excited
amazing.
about it. Yeah.
There's a petition that you've listed on your website, right? That everyone can kind of go and register
Exactly.
themselves
Exactly.
with
So
as well. Okay.
I've linked it on my bio, and it's linked on Post for Change's bio as well. So people can just sign it. And indeed, step one is the petition. And then step two, when we get
Right.
enough signatures, we will go to the big production houses, or we will go to the big, media houses and ask them to take the pledge that they're gonna
Right.
stop whitewashing and that they're gonna be more inclusive of beauty. So yeah, it's exciting.
I want to know, you're a big icon in the fashion and the beauty industry internationally today. And, have you felt any form of bias that has kind of been shown against your culture or your skin color? Is this coming from a personal experience somewhere is there something you can share with us?
I think like maybe not like so directly, but I'm quite a
Mm-hmm.
sensitive person, so I can like sense these things. But you would notice people who are, blondes or Europeans getting the exact same, like, or getting something better than you. Like, whether it's the example of a fashion show, like all the front row seats would be given to an influencer who's perhaps half your following or half your interaction, but just because she happened to look a certain way. And same with
Right.
campaigns as well. Like you would see the majority of them being picked for a certain way that they looked. And for me, it acted more as a fuel to work harder. And for me, it was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, okay, if that's gonna happen, I'm just gonna try more and network more and figure out and grow even bigger, that you're not able to completely like put me on the side. So for me, it definitely worked as a fuel. But have I experienced discrimination based on color? Yes, of course. Like, or based on the country I come from? Absolutely. Like, I think also just being Indian, and I think it's
Right.
both sides, right? Being
Mm-hmm.
Indian, but then when I go back home, because I guess I have an accent because I studied in international boarding school. When I go home, sometimes it's almost like people are like, "Are you really Indian?" I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
"Yes, I'm really Indian," and they're like, "But why do you sound like that?" And I'm like, I'm not putting it on. So it's like, when you come back home, they think you're fake because your accent isn't Indian enough. And I'm like, yeah, but I
Right.
did. Like, even if you wake me up at 3 a.m. in the morning, this is how I sound. It's not like I'm putting it on or I got it on. Like, from when I was 12, I've been in an international school. I learned English like this. Like, at 12, I didn't speak English. It was only Hindi at home. So when I speak Hindi, it's like in a proper Hindi accent. And then when I speak English, it's in this accent because this is just how I learned it. And then vice versa in Europe, being Indian, they already before they've met you have this like connotation of how you're gonna be,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have to
Right.
kind of fight against that, being like, yes, I'm Indian, and yes, but yes, I can sit on a table and eat properly. Like I do have
Sure.
table manners. Like it's just constant, I guess, battle of being little bit everywhere. That you do fit in
So,
everywhere, but then you're also a little bit having to explain yourself a little extra all the time. But it's fine.
so
Like
what of lots of myth busting out there as well
yeah,
at different levels.
I think so. And
Preconceived
then like
notions, so to speak.
totally, like even with our wedding,
Mm.
like when I married Oleg, the amount of people who were like, "Why not enough good Indian guys at home?" I'm like, come on, guys, like you can't help who you fall in love with. Like it's not like that. Of course there's enough Indian guys at home, but I happen to fall in love with a Dutch guy, and why does it matter if he's blonde or white, or you know what I mean? And so I think we still have a long way to go, all of us,
Mm.
with our discriminations in general, but I think we're on the right path. And as much hate as we get, we just have to keep going down that path.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So tell me, what is the one food that you're eating which is for your skin? What is the one thing that you constantly go back to?
Um, Skin. First thing in the morning, hot water with lemon, is something I've been doing for years. And
Mm-hmm.
recently, because I don't get to eat as much Indian food as I'd like, I do take like curcuma capsules with black pepper in them. So just
Oh,
as a
nice.
capsule form. So if I can, I would put it in like a tea with black pepper as well. But if you don't, I just take a capsule with it. So that's really nice as well. What about you? What are your
That's
skin secrets?
I'm I love coconut oil, lots of it in my food, lots of it in my hair, lots of it on my skin,
Yeah.
lots of turmeric as well, which can be included in the diet and used, of course, on your face as well, mixed
Okay.
into a pack. So a little bit of those. Swear by the rose water in this season. So yeah, a
Yeah.
little bit of that
You
too.
guys, Force
Yeah.
Essentials, have the best rose water. I remember using it so much during the humidity in India, and it smells divine. I love what
Yeah,
is it called
it
again?
is.
The name of your rose
The
water?
Hawaiian rose, the
Yes.
facial tonic mist. Yeah,
I'm sure that's a
it's
bestseller,
really
right?
good. It is. It's amongst our top few products for sure,
Yeah.
and I think it's very well suited to to the weather conditions that we have here right now, just really, really hot. So it does well because of that as well.
Yeah, it's refreshing. Yeah.
It is good. So, and I want to know that what are you doing for your hair? I saw lots of people on the chat just post and ask. We want to know what both of us are doing for our hair. But I'm going to actually ask you because I want to know what you're doing for your hair. So please tell us, what are you doing for your hair?
I think my hair, a lot of like once a week masking is always great. And for me, I love castor oil. And sometimes mixing it with like almond oil or coconut oil and like making it a bit thinner, but just castor oil, and just to keep the ends and stuff quite, you know, healthy, because I do bleach my hair quite a bit. So I'm sometimes surprised how it's that I still have hair on my head. But yeah, taking care of it. And every single night before I sleep, I always give myself a little head massage, like a 1-minute head massage. And I think that's just something I've always done. And I believe it really helps with like growing your hair quicker.
Hair does.
I don't know if that's true, but I think my hair grows at this insane speed because of like stimulating the follicles.
Of course, yeah.
And what do you, Karishma, do for your hair?
You know, it's okay, onion juice, by the way, is supposed to be really good for the hair. A very smelly option at that, but so so good for the hair though. As is egg, very smelly again, but very good. And I kind of mix it into the mask that we make. So I add a little bit in. So I kind of cheat so that it masks the smell. And apply it then and be able to just wash it off and then rinse it thoroughly and kind of hope that the smell is not lingering. So somehow try and keep that out.
Make something good smelling with just onion juice to like mask it. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that the good aspect and the salient good points of it kind of stay, and the smell is stench rather is masked.
Yeah.
So hopefully that kind of gets away with that.
It's definitely a good tip.
What do you think is the future of indigenous beauty brands in the future?
I think similar to what we said earlier about, you know, shopping more local. I think it's so funny how our world always goes like this, huh? First we go like way too much, like more outside, light, and suddenly we all come inwards, and it's like, okay,
inwards,
everything in our surrounding that's close to us is beautiful. So I think indeed the new wave, I suppose, is that way, going more back to basics, back to home, back to local. And it's the same with the indigenous, like also brands being aware of them and like helping those communities. And yeah, I see it definitely rising. I'm sure you agree with me, right?
Yeah, I absolutely do. I think I think that it's interesting to see even newer brands that come up, you know, in terms of the work that's undertaken. And I think as some of, you know, being the largest player in this space, really, it's a great way of really imbibing your own value set and culture of where you come from. Absolutely. And kind of building that and representing that globally more than anything else. So I think that there is a massive opportunity here for the global consumer really to engage with a very incredible and honest Indian product and take back some of our culture's best things, really. So
very well said. Very well said.
So I think that's how it works for us.
You guys have done a fantastic job with that. I think the second anyone thinks of luxury and Ayurveda in the same sentence, they think of course essential. It's like, I don't know which other brand, like on a global scale, like, you know, people can think of. So I think you've exactly done everything right, from the branding to the product to the helping the local communities, and now also being sustainable. Like you check off all the boxes. So that's really
which has been your like favorite FE product to date? What have you really enjoyed using?
Yeah, your Soundarya. I think the of course.
Ooh, yeah, the Soundarya is the winner.
Like,
okay.
It'll go down in generations. It'll be like, I'm pretty sure my mom, I haven't asked her, but I'm sure she's used it. Me, like, I can see that being like a timeless thing, right? I don't think that goes away. And you've added that luxury element to it just enough to make you feel glamorous, but yet quite Ayurvedic and like back to basics. So I think it's for me, it's my favorite product. And then the rose water. Only when I'm in Mumbai's humidity, I just love that one in my bag. Yeah, those would be my favorite.
Have you made your mom try any of our products? considering she's the
I
Ayurvedic doctor in the
I
family? Has she had the chance to try any of our stuff as yet?
I'm sure she has. I have personally never like given anything to her from myself, but I'm sure she has. Like I'm gonna ask her after this call. But
You do.
I
You
think
do
mom
that.
was probably the one who introduced me to Force Essentials back in the day. Like, yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure she has, but I'm not like I haven't gifted her anything yet. Let's put it that way. But yeah.
Well, if she introduced you to the brand, then at least we have a vote of confidence as well. So we'll go with that. We're good with
Exactly.
that then.
Exactly. I'm sure she has. Yeah.
Okay, and you're going to teach us a mask today
Yes.
for everyone who's live in this chat right now to see what are we making.
Okay. So we're gonna make a super sort of hydrating and with my favorite, I think kurkuma, turmeric, haldi, however you want to call it, is like my hands down my favorite ingredient in the world. I think it's like does it all for me. So we're gonna have haldi in this. We're gonna have olive oil, yogurt, and we're gonna have honey. So it's gonna be super
Okay.
hydrating yet like glow boosting. So it's like my if I need a 5-minute glow booster mask, this is the one. But
Did
I
you
know
use it before this chat? Because your skin is looking amazing even right now. I want to know what you put.
no, this is because the light is super dull in Amsterdam today. It's raining like crazy. So I have like
All
this
right.
LED light right here. I think that's what's making everything super glowy. But because it's so dark, I had to like give some lighting. Like without it, I don't think you can even like see me properly if I would take it away. But it is the light as well. It's not just my
It looks very nice. Don't worry. You look lovely. It's okay.
Thank you. All right. So let's start making it. What we need to do is we need 2 teaspoons of honey. I have my honey
Okay.
right here.
Okay.
I'm going to put it. So 2 teaspoons of honey.
I have my honey right here as well. Okay.
Okay.
I'm making this on the fly with you. Well done.
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
good.
Put it into the bowl.
Okay.
Yours is already ready. And then we are going to put yogurt. What you must have a beautiful Indian yogurt. Oh, I missed my
Homemade yogurt,
course.
dahi. Yes.
Of
Of course.
Lucky.
Yeah.
Then we put
Okay.
that about 2 tablespoons now into the honey.
Okay.
Just mix it.
Okay, mixing. You're showing it much nicely than I am, but I'm mixing too. All right.
Okay. And then
Okay.
we do the olive oil.
Got it.
I have a brand new one, so I'm gonna open it in front of everyone.
And this is like 1 teaspoon of olive oil?
Correct. Yeah. So we don't want to make
Okay.
it too oily. Like if people have really dry skin, they can put more. But my skin is quite combination, so I'm just gonna put indeed just a little bit.
This has got a very interesting texture already, by the way.
Yeah, it's quite
Nice.
It already looks like it's gonna be quite a glow-giving thing because
it's fairly silken. Nice.
And then lastly, we
Okay.
add our haldi. Now this one, a little bit caution because if you put too much, you're gonna end up looking yellow for a long time.
Yellow. Yeah.
Especially if you have really strong haldi. So I would literally say like a pinch, and then see how yellow it gets, and then you can add a bit more if you want. So I'm
Got it.
literally adding like a quarter teaspoon.
Okay.
Just a quarter teaspoon here.
Yeah.
Mix it all in.
I like this. I'm curious to see what's yours looking like versus
Show
mine.
me yours.
Mine's looking like that.
Nice, perfect. I like that your dahi was a bit more like thicker, while mine is rather light, and yours is nice and thick. So that's nice.
Okay,
And then
so good consistency, right?
My face is no makeup. Yours too, right? So I think we can just.
No, I have. Listen, mascara. If I don't put that on, I look asleep. So just about mascara.
I have some leftover mascara as well, but that's
okay.
fine.
Good.
As long as our skin is fresh. And then I like to take my hands. My hands are already clean, so I like to just take my hands and kind of just apply it everywhere, and it's quite cooling and soothing as well.
Deepa, you look good doing this. I'm not sure I should be putting it on my face right now.
No, please, just.
I'm going right ahead, girl. I'm following you. Okay.
I think it's just like if you put a thin layer, it just looks like a serum or something. it is honestly such a glow
It's really,
booster.
it's pretty light.
Yeah, right? And so you won't really
Yeah,
see
feels
much of
good.
it, but once you take it out in like 5-10 minutes, you're gonna see the glow for sure.
It's really cooling as well when one is applying it right now. It genuinely feels really good. And how often do you land up using this, by the way?
Um, it's like my secret weapon before any like event, red carpet party. Then I'll do it.
Thank you for sharing it with us.
Then I'll do it maybe just an hour before I put hair and makeup. Otherwise,
Right.
otherwise I think like once in 2 weeks or so if I'm just chilling at home.
Oh,
And
nice.
the
Okay, good.
yogurt is the one that makes it cooling, so it's a great summer mask. And then the honey and the olive oil make it the moisturizing thing. And then the
Yeah.
turmeric adds the glow. So you really get like plumpy, glowy skin at the end. And that's
Okay.
it. Ta-da!
Okay, I'm set. My question for you is, where am I going now?
After this, you're gonna have date night at home with your husband.
Okay, well done.
And then this is it. And then we just let it dry and then take it off at the end.
Do you wash it off like with a wet towel, or do you just splash your face with water and take it off?
Whatever. Every time is something different. But I usually, to initially take it off, use a cotton pad with just
Yeah?
water on it. And then I'll just like splash water. Yeah.
Okay, this
Yeah.
has been super.
That's it.
Great.
Thank
I'm
you
waiting to
so
see
much.
what this looks like eventually. And thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you
us
so
today
much.
for
You
this
can selfie
chat.
later with your glowy face.
We will. I will for sure. I will be sharing it with you. You have a good evening.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much for
This,
joining.
and for everyone who's here, if you have any questions on products, please message us, send us a direct message. And Deepa, I read a question on the facial mask right now. They want to know, is it supposed to be semi-dry or completely dry?
Semi-dry. I don't think
Okay,
because of the oil and the honey, it's not gonna get fully dry. So
completely dry.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
super. Thanks so
All
much,
right, guys.
Deepa. You take
Bye
care of
bye.
yourself. We'll chat soon.
Enjoy your glowy skin. Bye.
You too. Bye. Bye. Thank you everyone for logging in. Bye.